Okay, so this morning we're going to go up to Castiglione del Lago. It's almost exactly 30 minutes from the house. And it's Sunday morning, July 7th, so I know we're going to go up over the hill through Panicale, which is a very nice little town. We might stop there and get coffee. I don't know. And then down over to Castiglione del Lago. Now Sunday morning, bicycles. You know, well, that's the main thing. Beautiful windy roads here, fun to drive on. And you know, if you're the driver, not always if you're the passenger. Yeah, there's a bike right ahead of us there. Let me see if I can catch you on the video. There he is. So let's give him some berth. And the road's already narrow here. And this is very common. They were built, I think, for smaller cars. They accommodate big trucks. But a lot of places where you've got to wait for the other one to go through. You know, like on that turn, this car and me and that bike would not have fit on at the same time. Okay, I'm going to shut up now, and we'll see you in Panicale, I guess. Okay, that's our first stop this morning, up through the trees there. That's Panicale. And maybe we'll get another nice view of it as we come around the bend here. Ready? Yep, there it is. Just another beautiful medieval hilltop town. Italy is just full of them. Okay, so we're parked here in Panicale, and on this side of Panicale is Umbria. On the other side is Umbria too, but you can see a little bit into Tuscany. Okay, so we're not going to do a big walking tour here of Panicale. This is the church in the square. Ristorante El Gallo, and the main restaurants, the proper good, you know, sit down and gourmet, are off to the right there. You got there along the church. But I'm sitting here now just to have coffee to get the day started. And there's what do we have here? 1, 2, yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can wander down any of these side streets. I think there are a couple shops here. But it's not as big as where we were yesterday. Castiglione. No. What was that? Città della Pieve. It's nowhere near as big as Città della Pieve. I would say, so I'm going to give this one a 2 on my scale of 1 to 5, and Città della Pieve is a 3. Thank you very much. Grazie. Our coffee. But this note to self and travelers. This coffee is house brand, which really suits me. You can make a fun game of going around to different places. There are many different types of Italian coffee. They're all exceptional, but some fit your taste better than others, and you don't know what that taste is yet until you try these. House brand, and for me another one is Mocha Floor. It's made up in Florence. One thing that was a little bit difficult to get used to was you eat and then you pay here. So, buongiorno. Look, nocciola. They have nocciola. They have nocciola. Oh. Buongiorno. So we paid for our coffee, and this bar is about as dark as they come. And we like this one because if you go out here, come on, Coco. This little table for 2 overlooks Lake Trasimeno. And where we're going today is, I don't know if you can see that little peninsula. On that peninsula is Castiglione del Lago. First, let's take a real quick walk here through Panicale. We have a little art exhibition here. In this particular bar, and they've all got a barcode, and I suppose that will tell you about the artist. Okay. Okay. Andiamo. Coco. Where's Nocchiola? There she is. Yeah, so Panicale, this is the main square. It's kind of funny because it's on a hill. But now you can see coming into view one of the restaurants I was talking about. The one up there with the patio and the green bicycle. And I hear they've got an enoteca and tabaccaria. And the Ristorante Masolino is also excellent. Now we normally go up through this way to get to an upper terrace, but we'll go the back way this time. Go, andiamo. Yeah, here's some. This is that Masolino restaurant. And I don't know where the third one is. I know there, oh, there it is. No, Marconi La Bottega. That might be it. Merceria. Come on, Coco. Seguire. Good girl. Marconi La Bottega. In here. Oh, no, it's not a restaurant. Here we go. Oh, I didn't even know this place was here. Nice. Yeah, this is one of those towns, even though it's a 2 on my scale of 5, it's, in other words, it's pretty, not too big. You can actually live here without even leaving the walls of the town. So I think here, yeah, this is going to take us up to where we want to go to get to our courtyard. Okay, come on, Coco. Come on, Noki. Let's go. And this is a blast. Just, I don't know, discovering the place. Walking around and, yeah, okay, here we go. Wait, no, this isn't the courtyard. The courtyard we went's right up here. Okay? And it's got a really nice view of the lake. We're going to see that. Well, probably just as good from this little gap. There we go. No, we're not on the lake yet. Where'd the lake go? Well, you can't really see it from this gap too well. So we have to go up here, up there, to get to the lake. So, good girl, Coco. You seem all tired and hot already. Well, hang in there. All right. Luciola, come on. I don't think this gate was open the last time. I'm not sure. It's not private property. Yeah, it's not. There's our terrace, right there. And we shouldn't be here. So, come on, Coco, heel. Seguire. Hey, seguire. Good girl. That's a good girl. Okay. And yeah, it's no parking, which means they put cars in here. Not up the steps, obviously, but yeah, you can get tiny little cars in here. So that's sort of the trade-off one has to make. You're going to live in a medieval town. Okay, here's the courtyard we're talking about. Coco, come on there. Come on, let's go. Yeah, and this is, they ring that bell. We've been lucky enough to be up here when they have. Palazzo de Podesta, which I still have to Google one of these days. Yes, and from here, we can see the lake out there. And some Apennines beyond. And the E45 expressway runs along the opposite side of that lake. And there's Castiglione del Lago there, the peninsula sticking out. Can you see that? That's where we're going. Those mountains are actually in Tuscany. The border between, at the north end of that lake, is the border between, one of the borders between Umbria and Tuscany. And the A1 highway is on this side of those mountains you can see over there. Yesterday we were in Città della Pieve. It looks down into that valley a little bit better. We can't see down into the valley from here. We're a little bit further east in Umbria, aren't we? Aren't we? Aren't we? Yeah, let's go. Che andiamo. Okay, so we're walking our way back out of the courtyard there. And I just love all this. It's great. Another little courtyard here. No view from this one, but just a beautiful little spot. And we're working our way down here for a grand entrance to an intermediate plaza. And this one, you can see down through to the main plaza from here, down through that gate, that archway. Let me turn around here so I can get the dog straightened out. Okay, now today is Sunday morning, so we've got church. Buongiorno. Okay, Coco, come on. A little steep here. But getting in sync with the schedules of events in these little towns is a little bit difficult. I came up here one time and there was a big sand painting here and a big sand painting in the upper courtyard, and it was all decked out. They do like to party here. People get together and cook and eat and drink, and it's nice. So here we are at Lilo Tantini. Who is this guy? I know this guy. How do I know this guy? Yeah, he's a friend of a guy that owns a restaurant in Pietrafita, well, Tavernelli. And the food here is excellent. Oh my God, you walk by the window. You walk by the window here. He's Michelin rated. So he's got his 2021 there and his 2023 there. Oh, he's got Michelin 2024. Yeah, so it's out in the middle of nowhere, little tiny town. 2 out of 5, and we got Michelin, and but the local people say this one here is the one to go to, Mazzolino. So, come on, Coco, seguire. Yeah, so here we are back in the main square. So we're ready to roll over to Castiglione del Lago. Okay, before we leave Panicale, I wanted to just point out this little community area here, this little park. There's a bocce court and a stage, and I don't know when it is this year, but it's a little bit overgrown right now. They take exceptional care to make sure things stay nice and trim around here. It's for fire prevention and just general neatness. But here's what you need to see is this. Faiolo in Festa, Montagabbione. No, that's not for us. 9th to the 14th of July. That's coming right up. A Compro Oro. Oro's a little town with a fish market, a frozen fish store. It's we're away from the sea here. And then here, what do we have here? Oh, that's the 25th, 28th. Yeah, XXVII, 28th Festa dello Sport. Yeah, and I'm not sure. This is the music that's going to be there on the right side, and then the date on the left. And yeah, I don't know what that is. If it's just music or what. But they will have a festival here at some point this year, maybe twice a year at least. Any town with the size of 2 on my scale, they're big enough to have a couple of serious festivals. And the sound systems and the lighting systems, they're incredible. I mean, you can't believe they put in such a production for such a few people. Okay, take one last look at here, and at the side here. I just met a lady that has one of these houses along here by the theater, she said. So Yeah, some retired professor from Stanford that lives in Copenhagen half the year. So that's, part of the population in these towns, people that just wanted to, retire here. Like me, I guess. Yep. Okay, we're coming down out of Panicale now. And on my rating scale of towns, I sort of made an association that these ones, you don't need a high ground clearance vehicle. Small vehicles, fine. Even a larger vehicle on these guys. So I'm going to incorporate that into the rating system. So if I give it a 2, that means, yeah, you don't have to rent a four-wheel drive vehicle to get into it. Now, parking is a little difficult in some of them, depending on how many people are there, what day of the week it is, tourist season and so forth. We got a spot, nice spot here on Sunday morning, July, what is today, 7th, July 7th. Yeah, so that was okay. And this car is not micro small, it's not macro big, so easy, very easy to park along the street. Okay, now here we go down the hill to Lake Trasimeno, and let's just leave this video going for a minute. To Lake Trasimeno. There's another little bar right off the road here, and what there are along here too, I'm going to point out these traffic control devices that will give you a ticket. So yeah, there's one here. Here's some bicyclists. Now look, they're going out around. Do they slow down? No, they come out right into this lane. They didn't do too badly there. But this happens a lot when people pass bicyclists. They'll come right into your lane because there's enough people that have I have a right to not be impeded by a bicyclist, and to heck if I'm coming into your lane scaring the crap out of you. And yeah, some places there's not enough room to give a wide berth. This is not bad though. Now, here we're coming down, Panicale's up off to our right there. Beautiful view of it from here, by the way. Now, I don't have Google Maps running at the moment, but I do happen to remember, because we've been along this road enough times, there are a couple of traffic control devices. Electronic police. There's one right ahead there. Okay, I'm going to slow down here so you can see this. You see that pole? Right, there's a pole there with a mirror, and then another pole, and then there the blue box is the thing. That's it right there. Okay, you got to watch those things. Okay, this is the little town of Maki. See that sign, Controllo? They're warning us of a traffic control device coming up. But that one, which used to be on the right up here, is no longer there. So I don't know if it's one of the ones that the guy tore out or what. Pronto? Pronto? Okay. Andiamo. Let's go. Okay, let's just start filming here from our parking spot back there and our walk up into town, huh? How you get up in here to Castiglione del Lago. Castle on the lake. So we come around this tower here, okay, and up the staircase. Coco, hey, seguire, Coco. Oh, okay. Come on, seguire. Okay, and the reason I'm filming this is because it's nice. You come up here and you can see out over the lake. I'm spoiling the surprise. And then you turn to the right. You can kind of see the castle, or one of the gates coming into view here. First, let's look out over the lake there in Castiglione del Valley. Now, this is all the town outside the walls. Okay. So I gave this a 2.75 for size. Not as big as Cettina della Pieve. There's the lake. Coco, seguire. Hey, seguire. Yeah, they want to go up. She sees all the people here. And here's what you see when you come into town. Now, at a 2.75, this one's got, it gets a lot of tourists, but not a lot of U.S. tourists. It's not like everybody's got to do Venice and Florence and Rome. And right in here, immediately, up here's a nice shop. Oh, here's Coco. And this one, it's an Enoteca, local wines. But this is the shop I was talking about. I got a nice cutting board here. Buongiorno. And Coco, come on. That looks like a nice Parmesan grater there. Yeah. I've got an electric one that works pretty good. It's very convenient. But it doesn't get it as fine as snow. And for some of the sauces, apparently the finer the cheese is grated, the better. It gets more smooth in there. Anyway, see, this is your typical, okay, refrigerator magnet, store, So those are clearly, come on, Coco. Those are clearly tourists from, they were getting business in from Europe, other parts of Europe. I suppose some Italians buy refrigerator magnets, but I doubt it. Very many. What's interesting, though, about some of these places... Oh, I should mention. So you get into a town like this, and you're paying tourist prices, and the food's good compared to many places in the U.S., unless you go, super high-end in a big city. The food's not going to be anywhere near as good as here, even in a town like this, which isn't that big. And the size of the town, there might be a slight inverse correlation to the general quality of the food. It's all good, don't get me wrong. I'm just getting super picky here and enjoying every minute of it. It's an education for me. And here's some pastas. I would never buy at a place like this, though. There are just too many places close to home where you can get... they have some very fancy. Look at these. This is some wild pasta here. Interesting. Here I just said. But no, it's here. Red, white, and green. This is a classic here. Or green, white, and red, I should say. But okay, just grab a look at some of the prices here. And not horrible at all. My God, compare this to U.S. prices for the same things. Unbelievable. So yeah, you can eat well here, and the quality of the food is so good that you don't have to eat a lot, and you feel completely satisfied. I lost like 5 kilograms my first maybe 3 months here, just because I didn't eat as much. Now, I did get homesick for some foods from home and started cooking some, there's little cookies, and you can tell it's breakfast time. It's a little bit before lunchtime. Sometimes that gate's open. There's a nice view from out there, but we're heading down to the castle here, where we can, again, take a closer look at the lake. We're heading now we're walking in the direction of Coco, seguire. Excuse me, I had to get detangled from the dogs. We're walking now in the direction of the end of the peninsula. So that's that. Now here is a good place for some interesting toys. Little wooden puzzles and mind benders and stuff like that. Start up your brain. This is a great souvenir shop here. Even if it's not for a kid, a developing kid, you know, just some of these puzzles are fun to put together and to try to get apart. And I might as well take a chance and see if we can find a men's store here. Sunday morning, though, it's not the best time for that. I have to come back here during the week sometime. Now, our coffee shop that we like is right up here on the right. And they have a coffee with a little black dude as a carryover logo. Politically incorrect probably today. You'd never see this in the United States. It's what is it? I guess they call it a black Sambo or something like that. These guys, look at this guy here. Blue Cafe. And it's fine. He's happy. And maybe a gelato on the way out here. What do you think? Let's continue our journey. Coco? Seguire. So you could see the tower coming into view up there. And there's a theater up there, and Castiglione del Lago has a large English-speaking population of expats. So they have English films and a mailing list. Good morning. Buongiorno. No, Coco Seguire. This is the municipal building. Something being renovated there. A lot of dogs in Italy. You see them everywhere. Okay. Women's clothes and jewelry. Yeah, I don't know where men shop around here. Another Enoteca, local products, garlic oil, aceto, which is vinegar, aceto. You can rent an e-bike, although, I don't know. And actually, the prices of these e-bikes are not bad. I don't remember exactly what it is now. When I made a mental note before, I thought, hey, that's not bad. It would be 3 or 4 times that in the U.S. I'm thinking it's like maybe 20 euros an hour or 15 euros an hour. And the all-day rates, I'm just spitballing this. I don't remember the exact numbers, but in the ballpark of 50 euros. Okay, so now we still got a little walk to go up here to the tower here. But before we do, we've got a parking area here. There's a hospital up here at the end of the peninsula. And right here is one of the gates in. There's actually parking up in here today. That's fantastic. Come on, let's walk over the grass. Coco, aspetta. Aspetta, wait. I keep mixing up wait and follow. Hey. Oh. Come on, Coco. Heel. And here we go. Oh, we got a sailboat on the lake today. With the sail down, he must be fishing. I don't know if you could see it in the video. There's a little speck there. But, let's go across here. Come on, Coco, seguire. But yeah, here's the base of the peninsula. It comes out here away. We lost the tower. So really, we're only about halfway out the peninsula now. And this is one of those there's a reason there's a lot of expats or retired people or living here because, it's got full services. The hospital's right here. Okay, still like to buy out in the country. I could certainly not worry about shopping here, but I just don't like buying stuff that's put there for tourists. It's not gonna be as high quality, I'm sure. And I did buy some beans here once, but I've since found that particular bean a lot of other places. There's an old bean here that's been here since Egyptian times. It's called Fagiolini del Transameno. No, Fagiolini del Lago, and Transameno is the lago. So here we've got a nice little old olive grove. I love the way these trunks twist all up, and I don't know if it's from shaking the trees over the years or what, that they split, and somehow it's the same tree but somehow not. They're just wild. And the theater's up there to the right. Oh, here's the sign right there, Rocca Cinema. And come on here, Coco. Let's go a little different way today. I usually go up the steps and around. That tower is open sometimes. I've never caught it open or tried to go up in it, but you can apparently. You see there's a courtyard there off the tower, which is even a little bit more elevation. Okay, let's turn off this. No, not yet. There's something cool here. In this little courtyard here, not that high one, this little lower one, there's a well, an old well. I just love all these little goofy spots. Coco, seguire. Pissing me off, dog. Stopping the smell of all the dogs here. Okay. So, now, for some reason we can't go back that way. It might actually just go down over the hill, because they build these things to be impenetrable, right? And this looks familiar. Yeah, this is our theater. So that way is not usually open, but it is today. And there's the cinema schedule. Hey, Coco, seguire. You. Buongiorno. Oh, she wants to check this out. Don't you? Yeah, and it's a nice little cinema. Look here. Some old... Don't know what that particular part of the castle was. But here's the stage. Here's a bar. And there's a screen. And lighting. And seats proper. So this is a place where you can go, have a drink, and watch the movie. I don't know if they serve food from here or not. They've got, they got bags of potato chips there and stuff. So this is a good place to sit, Coco, for a little bit here. And listen, it's an interesting broken out tower there. Huh. Yeah, it's a good spot. So, okay, there we have Castiglione del Valle. Castiglione del Lago. Castiglione del Valle is, it's a 2, maybe a little bit less than a 2. We might go out there sometime. It's extremely close to the house. It's only, literally less than 10 minutes. Somewhere 5 to 10 minutes. And it goes past some beautiful sunflower fields. And they're in full blossom right now, so we might have to go out there. Let's see what they've got to drink. Okay, so we're going to just take a minute here and actually sit under these olive trees out of the sun. Nice breeze coming through. Right, Coco? Sure. Nokiol will be jumping up in a minute here. Yep, I knew it. Hold on here. And they were shocked at first when I said no bicchieri, no glass. This is a peach drink. It's one of my favorites. Let's see here, 250 euros. In town, 220. Back in Pietrafita. So not too much of an escalation for such a wild little bar here. But what am I going to say here? There was some other point to be made. No, not really. It doesn't matter. It's a great place to just sit. I didn't get their coffee here. I don't know what kind it is, but we want to get a coffee on the way out. That one with the little black logo, because they've got. Oh, there's a lizard. Look there, Coco. There goes a lizard. Ho ho ho. What I've been doing is watching this well. People coming by and looking down it. You know, this is peach juice. It does look like beer, but it's not a beer. Here's my crushed peach juice can to prove it. Please, it's before noon on Sunday. Noki's having a good time watching the tourists go by, too. Aren't you, Noki? Sure. And Coco, she's on watch out for lizards here. Right, Coco? Sure. But yeah. What? Who are they, Coco? Who are they, Noki? Who are those people? Huh? Who are those people? Okay, here's how we came in. This gateway. We came up this path, but we're going to go out up these steps and get a glimpse of that old well. It's a different well than the folks were looking down before. And this is the one I'm thinking of. It's not a well, is it? I don't know what the heck it is. Yeah, it was a well. Look. I think it was. Okay, so we're back down here to this historic olive grove, I'm going to call it. You know, they harvest the olives off of these, but it's not, it's productive, but it's not your classic olive grove out in the hillsides where, I don't know what to say about this one. It's just sort of been captured here in the castle for a while, and I think they normally take out trees like this. They're gorgeous to look at, but when they produce olives, but there's a good supply of olive wood here. I think we have a sample. What do you say to a gelato? Sure. Okay, so up here on the right. I don't know why we picked this as our favorite spot, but that's all they sell is coffee and gelato. So what else do you need? Coconuts. Dalmamoli. There's the ceramics place in the corner there. Oh, easy. More women's clothes. Postcards, fridge magnets. Bracelets, electric bicycles. Coco, you're pulling the leash there now. Come on, hey, seguire. Good girl, good girls. Okay. Hey, Coco. Good girl, good girls. That's seguire. Up ahead here, under that green umbrella, that's our gelato place, Nocciola. Okay, the medium gelato. It's Nocciola, which is your name, Nocciola. And a coffee, which has our little mascot guy. He's happy. Look at him going along there. That's a cute cup. I like that. Le café. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I don't know if I'm going to rate it up there. With the mocha floor or not. You're waiting for your gelato, aren't you? Yeah, this gelato and coffee will, together, the coffee's like maybe 110, 120. We'll see. It's a touristy place, so I expect 120. Medium gelato, 2 scoops, was €3. So I'll get about the top. When I get this down to the edge here, then the dogs get theirs. And Coco licks it right out of the cup. Nociola licks it off the spoon. I can't film it, but it's funny, isn't it? Sure, it's funny. This is for me. I have to eat mine. No, no, no. You wait a minute. Aspetta. Okay, we're just walking back out. And I wanted to point out this particular shop. That's obviously an Italian pig. You can tell by the sunglasses. But you see back in there? That's porchetta. It's a roast pig. Buongiorno. And the sandwiches are fantastic. No condiments. It's just the spiciness, the way they spice up the porchetta and roast it. It's delicious. And it's usually on a nice crusty bun. So, but not today, huh? We had our gelato. Okay, pastries. What's this one? This is, we saw this one. It's girls' clothing. This one's trattoria. The trattoria. Which is what is this? A restaurant? But it's a certain kind of restaurant. They have, I don't know, like 5 different levels of restaurants. Coco, hey, hey. And Ristorante is the top, but the pizzeria is sort of the bottom, where you can just get a slice of pizza. Ristorante is full service, nice meals, 3 courses, whatever. I guess 4 courses. And yeah, so there's that. Okay. Oh, torta al testo, hot, calde. Torta al testo's a bread, a very plain bread local to Umbria, and they put all kinds of things on it, and they've got all kinds of good things in here for it. Coco, seguire. They've got, oh, look at those pastas. Little party pastas. That's cute. Sombreros. Sombreroni. Sombreroni. Yeah, very nice. Cute. Not. These are. I would not expect to be. Oh, amica, su amica. Buongiorno, come sta? Okay, that's Lucia's shop. Lucia, and different beauty care products. We met Lucia a year ago or more. We had to get an emergency hairband for Coco. And she was very nice, and she speaks very good English too. So we had a little conversation, and she is from Tuscany. She prefers Umbria, and we consider ourselves very, very lucky to have landed here. She says it's peculiar among Italy, and I asked her, does she know the word in Italian for Umbrian hospitality? There is a word specifically for that. We probably don't use it outside Umbria too much because I think some of the other provinces are jealous. They just produce so much good food here. It's unbelievable. And the people are uniquely friendly here. I mean, they're friendly all through Italy, but here they're just so welcoming and happy. Fagioli, pasta. Oh, tartufo. We've got some tartufo in the freezer. A friend brought over on the 4th of July. And so we're not going to get any tartufo there. He's got dogs and hunts for tartufo and digs it up. Which is, excuse me. And then prepares it and bottles it himself. And he doesn't sell it commercially. He just gets, Coco, come on. So anyway, that's a nice little bonus. So for my 4th of July hamburger, I had a hamburger instead of ketchup and mustard. He insisted that I put tartufo out, and I said, no, it's a waste. It's not a hamburger. But he was not going to be deterred. and he loaded it up with tartufo, truffles, tartufo. Sometimes I forget the word truffles because I'm getting used to calling it tartufo. My God, that was a good hamburger to start with, but when you load it up with that tartufo, wow. So that's something to try. There's some hot peppers growing there. And here we are. Okay, Coco seguire. Okay. Back out the gate, Porta Sense. And those mountains are in Tuscany. And I think that's the mountain. I think that's Mount Amiata. You can barely see it there. Let me zoom in here. And that's a beautiful place to go. See it there? Okay. Wait a minute here. Okay, anyway. Yeah, Mount Amiata, it's cool. They ski up there. And there's ski lifts and kind of a nice resort. Summer homes up there. And a nice drive if you're coming across Tuscany to get over to Umbria from that direction. From Grosseto area. Now, I'm going to say one more thing here about Castiglione del Lago and Lake Trasimeno, but Castiglione del Lago specifically, is that if you're traveling long distances trying to see a lot of Italy, it's not terribly difficult to get to. It's actually very simple. You're coming south on the A1. Come on, Nocciola. Come on, you want carried. Okay, 1 second. Now, Coco, seguire. Okay, so coming from Florence towards Rome on the A1 south, it's either the E35 or E36 that crosses the A1 about halfway between, about a third of the way between Florence and Rome. I'm trying to remember here. And so, a few kilometers east on this E35 or E36, whichever. Coco, wait, aspetta. Okay. Yeah, and so a few kilometers, I'm thinking between 10 and 20 east, decent highway, and you're up at the northwest corner of Lake Trasimeno, and then you just jump down the side of Lake Trasimeno, and you can get to Castiglione del Lago real quick. So I would highly recommend it. Now let's see here. We're parked along here somewhere. There we go. We're the one with the roof rack. I love roof racks. It makes it easy to find your car. Okay, turn off the air conditioner fan. Little fountain there. And we're winding our way back home. Now it is 11:55. It's not even noon yet. I should stay up here and put the bells on the video, but anyway, we're going to head home. We'll probably head up to the top of the hill there and just say hello. But we left the house this morning it was after 9. I don't recall how much after 9, not very much. And spent our 3 hours, 12 minus 9 is 3. We spent that 3 hours and visited 2 really nice little towns. And I think I'm going to start to formalize this rating system, because there are definite measurable criteria that can be used. Some things are subjective. I'm not going to let those enter in, but yeah, they have to. I'm thinking out loud here, because the views from the towns and that sort of thing are, that's, I guess it's sort of subjective. I'm not going to try to quantify that. I suppose you could do it, but it's not important. I kind of like the certain sizes of towns and other sizes you can upsize if you want to get what those towns offer, if you're very careful about when you go, what time of year, and what day of the week, and so forth. So, yeah, just for fun, why not? So what did we say this was? We set the center of our scale with Cettia della Pieve, and I gave it at 3. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are our ratings, and we set Cettia della Pieve at 3, and we're going to leave 4 for a place like Siena in Tuscany, and a 4 would be like Assisi, right? And Perugia would be a 4.1 or something. I don't know. It's maybe just it's a bigger city than Assisi or Siena. Actually, it might be on the scale of Siena, so we'll get to that. Excuse me for just talking out loud here as we drive home. Thinking out loud. But I'm kind of coming up with this scale, and I think I'm going to, just to sort of add a little extra dimension to our adventures, and actually force myself to pay a little bit closer attention to exactly what is in each town. I've got a pretty good idea now. I could send people here or there depending on what they want to see, and I would say that it would be worth a loop through Umbria if you want to see the heart of Italy. Literally, it's called the Green Heart of Italy, and I mean that's its nickname around here, and worldwide. So that will be doing that would be a follow-on from what I was thinking about before. Coming down the A1, you're going south from Florence towards Rome. A nice way to do it, I guess, if you were flying into Milan or Florence, and then flying out of Rome, it would be kind of nice, less backtracking, and I don't know. Again, I'm thinking that out loud. I'm not sure how practical it is to get air tickets that way. But Milan, if people fly into Milan, there's a kind of a road that goes out towards Venice. Everybody's got to see Venice. There are things that are very well worth seeing in Milan. But between Milan and Venice are a couple towns, Verona. These all get heavily touristed because they're on that superhighway between Milan and Venice. So Verona's along there. There's a town called Padua, which is very interesting along there. And there are probably a couple more spots but these are places that, Milan's going to be a 5, right? It's a major city. Venice is going to be less than a 5, greater than a 4. It's not a major city. It has everything in the world for services and everything like this. Heavily touristed, obviously. But people just got to see it, and I don't blame them. So then you get into the smaller places to start to get into, deeper into Italy, into more genuine, let's say, Italian culture, like the true Italian people out here living in the country, across the country. So you're still get a heavily touristic influence up north in Padua and Verona type areas. If you get over to Turin, Pisa, those obviously get, particularly Pisa, again, heavy tourist component. And all those cities are in the north. They're in what I'd call the industrial north. They're not in the extreme north in the Alps, where things go back to a different flavor. I've not personally been up there, but I've talked to a few people about the Alps regions. And yeah, so you get south of the Alps into that very, very broad valley that Milan sits in the middle of, that basically connects, you know, Pisa and Florence and Bologna's in the southern part of that broad valley. Now, when you get down to Bologna, you get back to more the Apennine Mountains, which run the length of the leg of Italy. You know, between the Apennines is this big broad valley where a ton of agriculture gets done. And that this region in Tuscany, it's something to Orca, it's called. Huge agricultural place, lots and lots of agritouristic places. And then west of that is, or east of that I should say, excuse me, is Umbria, where that giant valley between the Apennines continues. Let's just call that the Perugia zone. Now, north of south of Perugia, or getting over to Perugia from A1 is what got me thinking about all of this. That E35 or E36, whichever one it is, it goes east-west. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go out here, there, lady. Okay, see how nice that goes? These doggone roundabouts. They don't waste as much gas. People don't waste time sitting in the heat. They just work their way through it. So anyway, E35 goes over to another highway which runs north-south, which runs more or less parallel to the A1, but it's east of the A1, and it runs down the Apennines on the western half of, let's just say, Umbria, or the eastern half of Umbria, right? Those Apennines, the ones that Perugia's up against, the one that Assisi sits on. And as you continue south through those Apennines, there are a number of really great towns, threes, let's say, on the scale, just the right size, just the right, food, accommodation, services, historical significance, places that were Etruscan originally, and really nice places to stop. From Gubbio, well, let's go a little north of Gubbio, you could say from Umbertidi, down through Gubbio, down through Perugia, down to let's say Assisi, down to Spoleto, Spello, down to Termi. Some beautiful, world's highest man-made waterfall. It's made in Roman times down by Termi. I think it's called Mermont Falls, which you definitely want to avoid during heavily touristed times, because you're walking in crowds. So anyway, that's on my bad list. Some people don't mind it as much as I do, but that's nice. So there are a ton of things to see just down that side, the eastern border of Umbria, and a ton more in central Umbria. All these small towns all have their own sort of charms, and I'd say like number between 2 and 3. Slow down, there's a traffic thing. Between 2 and 3 on the scale is the places where the towns are absolutely thoroughly enjoyable for peace and absolute peace and quiet and beauty and good food, good wine, good place to vacation you know. But of course we've got to get out of the airports and to those places. So coming north from Rome on the A1 or going south from Florence on the A1, great ways to get here. I had a good friend in high school. She's going to come here, and this is why I'm babbling on about this. It's for her and her husband are coming here next year, just to sort of share some of my observations. And she mentioned they wanted to visit the north of Italy. And of course the north is famous because it's of various sophistications. You know, Florence, Milan, Venice triangle in the not quite extreme north. The beauty of the Alpine regions, or the Alps. Fantastic, the Piedmont. Driving is different up there. We get enough driving up and down hills here to some of the small towns up in the there's right there ahead of us is Panicale on the hill, and that's a giant grain silo. You can see these fields on either side. They're kind of brown right now, so I think they're making hay and putting the next thing in. So, Giordano, little town here in the valley, little agricultural town. But up on the hill above Giordano, you can see there's some trees in the way right now. Right here, it'll be coming into view. And there's another traffic control device. Slow down quick. Made it. Yeah. There is Panicale. And what did we give Panicale? A 2. A 2. And that was earlier in the video. We went up 3 restaurants up there. One of them is a Michelin rated. You know, for a couple of years now they've been Michelin rated. Also a couple of very nice coffee shops, streets to wander around, not too many tourists, nice people. So that's the kind of place that, you know, your average tourist, they're coming over to see Italy for the first time. They get caught up in this. We've got a Rome, Venice, and Florence. I mean, those are the big 3. Maybe Pisa's on that list. The huge architectural sites, and of course they're big history. You know, Uffizi Museum there in Florence. But you can wait in line for an hour in the heat to see that. It's nice, but to me it wasn't worth it. You can see those kinds of artworks in many places, and even in some small towns. They'll have not as high a concentration as in that museum, but very nice stuff. Now here's a guy going to pass us at a traffic light. Oh, he made it. That was illegal, but whatever. Yeah, so traffic laws here are more suggestions. The average Italian driver, I would say, or enough Italian drivers to make me think the average Italian driver take the traffic laws as suggestions rather than hard rules to follow, which probably drives a lot of people crazy, but you just get used to it. And you know, I don't drive quite as liberally as Italian drivers do, but you know, whatever. Sometimes you do things you shouldn't, as long as you know it's safe, you know, and you can see what you're doing. You're good. Anyway, so here we are. Panicale is up on the hill here to our right. There's the sign coming up here at some point. There it is, the sign to Panicale. And now, what time is it here? It's 12:12. So we've taken, what, 17 minutes to go from Castiglione del Lago to Panicale. And from here home, it's only 15 minutes. So, oh, there's a nice olive grove there. So I don't know what to say about it. This place is, wow. it is a stress-free zone. What do they call it here? Tranquilo, tranquilo, tranquil, of course. And they part of the Umbrian culture. I don't know if this is part of all Italian culture or if it's an Umbrian thing here. They have a special appreciation for tranquility and just being calm and relaxed about everything. And maybe that's why they live so long. I don't know. Italy does have a reputation for being one of those places where people live to super ages and reasonably healthy. You see people in their 80s out here all the time. I mean, they're not active like somebody bicycling up this hill would be, but they're out walking, and they're walking their animals, and they're shopping and getting their own groceries and carrying around, you know, bags of groceries or pulling a cart. And these people are in their 80s doing these things quite successstly. Now, in the U.S., that is not the case. 80s is pretty old for Stati Uniti. But anyway, whatever. I don't know if I can, what to attribute that to. Maybe it's just more exercise here, higher quality, very high quality foods without the preservatives, etc. Maybe that's it. I throw in stress as a big component there. So, I guess probably my main recommendation to people visiting Italy, if for a souvenir, is to try to get a sense of this tranquil lifestyle. You know, in the United States, we're busy, we're productive as hell. We've got a very a complete system of media and culture to get things done, and it's had to be that way since the beginning, because you know, it's a new country with a lot of resources and nothing but the Native Americans coming in with the European vision of the world. Of course, it had to be built. Something had to be done with the United States. We have to make it, build cities and infrastructure and make it a powerful nation, and things worked out very well. But the cost of doing that, I think, in terms of human stress, is probably not really greatly understood. Stress over the ages. Yeah, the book comes to mind. What's that book? The Jungle, Upton Sinclair. It's maybe a tiny little microscopic sliver of the kind of stresses people had to endure to build from the bottom. Just looking at the bottom now, the laborers who actually worked in the factories and so forth, getting a little philosophical, I suppose, but so what? So anyway, that stress is the main topic here I've sort of segued into. Of course, managers have their levels of stresses too, different stresses. Maybe not as much physical labor stress, but severe mental stress, intellectual stress. Professional classes, same thing. Get through school, get it paid for, get producing, get projects done, get new things built and into production, working, tested, all that kind of good stuff. Even the folks that finance a lot of this, fortunes can be lost quite easily and risks are taken. So yeah, a lot of stress. Go, 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 go. Here somehow, though, to turn it back to Italy, here we're in Tavernello. which is 7 minutes from home, or 8, something like that. And anyway, here in Italy, they've had a lot longer to work things out, and they've had a lot of older infrastructure that didn't have to be built fresh. They've had things to build on that were left from, previous, literally from previous epochs in time. There's still, I just mentioned Marmont Falls, there's still things functioning from Roman times. Not that much, but, certainly a lot of these hilltop towns were started and rebuilt upon themselves, torn down and rebuilt upon themselves. So the foundations were literally laid for a lot of these hilltop towns, the stone and brick places you see. So I don't know. I think that maybe having the vision for what to do, what to replace, having some things in place and working and culturally accepted. Here's where the water is, here's the wells, these wells have been here forever, okay, so we don't have to do quite as much exploring. We just decide that we're going to modernize this well, or we're going to drill a brand new one somewhere close, because they've known where the water has been for a long time. That's just an example, the water of a little bit less stress and things being a little bit less critical. And when I say critical, I mean high risk and unknown than in the U.S. So I don't know if these things are contributory or not. What I do know is you can feel it with every average person you meet around here, in the shops, in the restaurants, the bar, all these places. There's just a lot more smiles, a lot more relaxed, gentle way of moving and being. Nothing frantic happens here, except maybe a little bit once in a while on the road. You got a couple people out on their motorcycles. Here's another traffic control device in Panicale. Okay. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know why I'm trying to figure it out, but that's what I've been doing all my life, is try to figure things out. I don't see that stopping. And I might be right, I might be wrong. I don't know, but it's fun to think about. It's just the giant puzzle of life. Now here's a traffic control device on our left. I don't know if they reach across the highway and monitor in both directions or not, but I go slow either way. Because I got a ticket once in the Rome airport from one of these darn things. I was going 51 in a 50 zone. 51. And it was, the law of 50s, right? The fine was 50 euros, which is not that bad. So what would it be in Pennsylvania? I forget, it's graduated. But it's going to be at least $100 there.